everything, and I mean everything, starts with a pen and pad. Everything I do in my life starts with a pen and pad. I think that God's greatest gift he ever gave to me and my greatest weapon outside the word is my pen. It's always been my chosen way to communicate. And everything I do starts with that.
You are now listening to the podcast where authors inspire listeners to become authors, the Going North Podcast. I'm your host, certified self-leadership trainer, best-selling author, and book enthusiast, DomBrightmon. And you're going to be listening to a different author that will inspire you to join the business of immortality, known as authorship. Now let the fun begin. Today's episode is sponsored by the GoingNorthPodcast.com shop. It is going to help you have northbound direction to your own success. If you want a great inspirational quote like advance others to advance yourself, or today a reader, tomorrow a leader, heck, even some puns like pile on and always fully booked on your tote bag, mug, hoodie, heck, even a t-shirt, and many, many other items, head over to GoingNorthPodcast.com, click on the shop tab, and cop yourself some merchandise indeed. And that's GoingNorthPodcast.com/shop. And today on the highlight reel builder for authors known as the Going North Podcast, we got another super special, awesome human for you today, courtesy of one of the best websites on planet Earth, known as Podmatch.com, the wonderful site where podcast guests get to connect with podcast hosts. And if they're cool, the freaking ends. Today's guest is cooler than 2 cucumbers. Actually, Baye is a child of the king. Cooler than 7 cucumbers, y'all. Extra lucky, y'all. That's right, indeed. Because today's wonderful guest, y'all, he's a father, he's a husband, best-selling author, highly sought after international motivational speaker. You heard that right, folks. My man is going across country, indeed, across many countries, baby. No cowboy hat required, because he's also ministry leader, mental performance coach, humanitarian, and teen advocates. Let's give it up for the amazing and victorious Ahmard Vital. How you doing today, Ahmard?
Yeah, let's get it rolling, man. Be here all night being goofy.
So my goodness, man. So if you had to describe your journey in 3 words to the Ahmard that you are today, what would they be and why?
Inspiring, challenging, and educational. Inspiring because the journey for which I have traveled is only literally by the grace of God that I'm even able to still be in this place and do what I'm doing. I've had some great people be with me along the way who have poured into me, who has created the man who is here today. And I've been taken through enough prodigal moments to be able to be here today. Educational, people have poured into me. I've sought out what was needed from different people throughout my life. Once I started realizing that I didn't have all the answers, I started surrounding myself with people who had the knowledge and the information needed for me to be able to do different aspects of my books, from editing, from themes, from assisting with some of the storytelling, and all of those different things. So I would say that those words were probably the most beneficial for my journey as a writer, author, and now obviously as a speaker and a coach as well.
Sweet. There we go. Inspiring, challenging, and if I'm not mistaken, educational, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Woohoo. There we go. The ICE, that ice. Ice, ice, baby. That's right, indeed. Move over vanilla. We got the real ice. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. And funny enough, you're in Texas, so that could have another meaning too.
Hey man, things are bigger here and definitely more interesting. And the hospitality is real. So anytime you get below them Oklahoma uh, state lines, just be ready. Be ready to get shown some love and a hot meal, and everything will be fine for you.
That's what I'm talking about, indeed. So I'm talking about indeed. Well, speaking of hot meals, I heard my man was actually basically raised in the church as a little one all the way up to now. You probably had some hot things happen in life that weren't just meals. So when did your faith become real for you, my man?
Man, that's a roller coaster of a question. And I'll briefly kind of go through my my church life. I was baptized in the Baptist church. When my mom split up from my biological father, my second father was Catholic, so I was brought into Catholicism. I did that all the way up through high school. When I got to college, didn't go to church for some while, and then when I did, I went non I went to another Baptist church, and then I went non-denominational. Then I graduated, didn't do anything for a while. Went back to the Baptist church where I started, and then I left that after a little while, and then I went into like New Thought Christian Science. And at the time, I was like, man, this is like the best of both worlds. I can study the Bible, study the works of Jesus, but I can also welcome in any other faith systems as well. And at that time, I thought that that was awesome until my values were challenged in there, and they asked me to buy into some ideologies and a value system that just really didn't sit well with me. And now, within the past 4 years, I joined a hardcore, old school, Bible-based church, and I can share with you, Dom. The truth is that I've grown more in the past 4 years than I did in the last 15. And so I can say that my faith has always been pretty strong, but I would say it's been exponentially stronger within the past 3 to 4 years. And so now here I am. Obviously I'm still writing, but I'm also doing ministry work. I teach Sunday school. I'm one of the youth ministry leaders over at my church now here in the Woodlands, Texas. And it's been the foundation of who I am. And it's just gotten stronger over time now.
Oh, so I guess it's got 8 pack abs now.
Yeah, I'm working on getting that back too. Coming off of college football and things of that nature. I'm trying to get my body back right on that level as well. So I like that. Is my faith have 8 pack abs? That's gonna, you know what? That'll not only preach, but that'll write. I'm gonna write that down. And don't come after me for trademark infringement or anything. You offered this in good faith, and so I'll send I'll send you a love offering and a gift card when it's becomes a bestseller.
Oh,
So
good.
I
All right,
appreciate you.
cool.
I appreciate you.
All right, $ DomBrightmon, baby. Cash App, baby.
Not to put it out there. To all those
That's right.
listening, please, just can you all send my guy a cup of coffee? Can you send him a hot five on my behalf? If I can just get, like in the church, if I can just get 20 of you to send $5, he will have what's known as a Benjamin, a $100 bill that he can use to go buy coffee for a month. I mean, I guess I don't know. I don't know what inflation. I don't know how inflation is down there in Maryland. I mean, can you buy one cup of coffee per day with $100?
uh, well, I prefer Dunkin' Donuts, so that's highly possible.
See, you wouldn't say that if you were from Texas, by the way. So we can, yeah, you would. We're Shipleys down here, but we'll get you there. We'll get you there. Don't worry about it, Don. Don't worry about it. It's Shipley's, it's Bluebell, and it's Whataburger. Those aren't debatable. Just get familiar and just comply. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
Hey, at the end of the day, still better than Starbucks, right?
I'm gonna reserve my comments on Starbucks. It might be one of your sponsors, so let me not say anything.
No shade. He's probably like, I might have to speak at one of their conferences or something for their
Yeah,
executives. Like, I ain't got nothing to
they
say.
might. Schultz might book me for something. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, heard you on a podcast. Say something about me. Well, me and Dom were just making light of some things. It wasn't personal, I promise. Well.
Yeah, exactly. We're just talking about starfish on dollar bills. That's what we're talking about. Don't worry. Just starfish on some dollar bucks. Yeah, yeah. That's all. Yeah, Starbucks. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what we're talking about. So my
True.
goodness, man, that's a powerful story, man. That how basically these past 3 to 4 years have probably been really your best so far in terms of your faith, man, being a basically going back to one of those old school Bible foundational churches, man. Because yeah, that's actually a big thing going on nowadays, where some new age terms are coinciding with some terms in Christianity, and heck, like it's probably been going that way for the past couple decades or so when it comes to like
Mm-hmm.
different parts of the world. I remember years ago where I went to a church where they basically played Taylor Swift before the preacher got up to speak.
What?
Right?
Come on, now. That's not. Please tell me that's not true.
Oh no, it's true.
I
The
beg of you to tell me that's not true.
no, the
Taylor
preacher was preach.
Swift?
Yeah, they played a song "Bad Blood" because the pastor's sermon series for like 3 weeks was bad blood.
I I just believe there's so many other ways you could have led that in outside of a Taylor Swift song. But hey man, I'm just a dude from Texas. So I mean, my goodness, that's a first. I've not heard that before. I'm going to use that because this church is out here rocking out to Taylor Swift. What? No way.
Yeah, I'll
How many
only
more
went there
times did you go to that church after you heard that? How many more times did you visit the church after then?
I only went there twice.
Uh,
That's the only thing. I only
so
went there
so you
twice.
only
I was just
so you only fumbled.
hold on, go ahead.
So you only made one fumble because you went back, or was
Yeah,
the second time you went when you heard Taylor Swift?
no, it was the second time I heard the Taylor Swift. That was the thing.
Okay, so you're cleared. You're cleared. Okay, all right, good. I was just making sure I was on the call with the right guy. I appreciate that. Like Doc Holliday said, now we can still be friends.
Yeah, they offered the great shirt the first time. Second time I heard the Taylor Swift, I'm like, oh, nah, I'm good, fam. Nothing against her. I'm just like, nah,
Yeah,
I'm good.
yeah. I'd rather you just watch somebody on the internet for that matter. I mean, just pick one. Say church in Idaho and just pull up somebody's live stream and just let it rock.
There you go. These potatoes are heavenly, y'all. That's right, indeed.
They are. God gave them to us from the earth. Daniel fast. Let's get on it.
So my goodness, man. So being able to have that wonderful, strong faith, and now basically getting fully into the word, fully being a youth minister today. Like my goodness, man. Like the youth are really going through it nowadays, man. Like shoot, it's definitely rough out here because we got bullying on steroids thanks to social media, and we got all the craziness in the wonderful country thanks to all the stuff happening on the outside world. And we're basically they're the generation who haven't really seen the full American dream, really. That's being sold, especially in America, man. So what's probably been basically your youth ministry, man? Like, how has it been with youth ministry, with you basically being a youth leader, helping out the kids, man? Because you're basically in a very important role, like right along with teachers, man.
Yeah, I agree, and it's a role I absolutely embrace. It's one that I think is of highest importance. I always say that if we're not building a bridge to the next generation, I mean, we don't have a future. If the future generation is not in our sights, then what are we doing? And you're right. The information overload, the social media, you mentioned bullying, the identity crisis that's going on right now. And also, we have a whole new definition to mental health today. And I don't mean to downplay mental health because it is a real thing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that sometimes when you look at someone, it's like, just because you have two bad weekends in a row doesn't mean that you're just in full blown depression. Sometimes they just need to just sit down and just talk to someone who loves them. But the problem is that the 2020 stretch of whatever you want to call that, it took all of our young people, put them behind screens, told them to not congregate with their friends and their family. And we think there's not going to be a cost to this. I mean, we're sitting back and there's some 8, 9, 10 year olds who are not going to get on the other side of this. Some of them didn't go to school for a year and a half. And if you are already a year and a half behind, let's do the math on that. And so me working with these teenagers, I hear a lot of, I'm Gen X, right? I'm a Gen X man myself. And I hear so much about, this generation, there's no chance for them. And Dom, I reject that. I reject that at the highest level. And I reject that from the standpoint that, for one, this generation behind us is going to lead the revival going forward. This generation is going to turn the tides of a lot of things in society. And I'm fully aware that me pouring into that group, they're going to take the sword, they're going to take the word, they're going to take the mantle, and they're going to run with it. And they are going to lead an entire generation of those behind them and of their own peers to the word of God. So when I look at working with this group, I actually get inspired, because during my time to prep to working with them, whether it's Sunday school or it's Wednesday night service for our youth, I ask God, I'm like, hey, give me the tools that's needed. Give me the mindset that's needed. Give me the heart that's needed. Give me the faith that's needed. Give me the endurance that's needed to be able to pour into this next generation, so that I alone don't need to do this. But if I'm inspiring 100, 75, 200 students a year, a month, whatever that looks like, and they're going out and saying, I'm going to take the pouring into along with the word, along with the spirit, and go out there and share the gospel with others. Hey, man, I'll sign up for that all day. And that's where my mindset is now. My mindset is on making sure that not only do I make sure that my cup is overflowing, is that I make sure that overflow goes to my teenagers and goes to my youth. Every school, every nonprofit, every small business, my gyms, everywhere I frequent, I'm bringing that light to that spot, because that's what my father called me to do. And with that, hey man, I wake up every morning, I have my time, and I'm like, all right, I'm reloaded. Let's go take this to the streets and let's make something happen and pour into this next generation, so that we do have a future that looks better than what we currently see right now.
Amen to that. That's what I'm talking about, indeed. I'm talking about, indeed. That's a lot of students, indeed. And you've been doing this for years too, man. So I guess with you basically also being a mentor, has there been a lesson from a mentee that's basically made you a better mentor in the process?
Absolutely. I think probably somewhere around between my early 30s, I had a mentor at the time who taught me the value of service and gratitude. And I've rode the wave of that. I've said many a times in my works that there's 3 words that I look to live by or look to activate every day. And that's service, gratitude, and impact. And what I do with those 3 words is I say, okay, as I go about my day, as I make moves throughout life, if the actions I'm doing don't involve those 3 words, why in the world am I doing them? And so that keeps a checks and balance system on me, to where it's like, hey, is what you're doing a service to others? Are you making that person in the world a better place? Are you grateful for what you've been given and sharing that gratitude with others? And of course, with those two, it usually creates some level of impact. And so that was one of the greatest lessons I was ever taught early on, aside from my giving and tithing. Aside from these 3 things, that's probably the greatest lesson I've ever learned. And it goes from the church to the workplace to the business to the community service to going to speak at a company or corporation. that same attitude, that same light follows me everywhere I go. And I would say that probably is one of the greatest life lessons I've ever had. And it's one that I don't never have to abandon and I can live with for the rest of my life.
Ah, there you go. That's right indeed. That's service, gratitude, impact. That SGI, baby. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Attitude for that tithing indeed. That's right indeed. Tithing to your wonderful charitable organization of choice. That's right indeed. With your church, nonprofit, heck, maybe even random 10% to the homeless if that ain't your thing. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Good old givings. That way the receiving will happen, and then you'll be even happier to give than before. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. So my goodness, man, you got, if I'm not mistaken, 3 books to your name, and writing's basically been a big part of your life, man. So what keeps you writing?
Man, I always say, man, that like, the resume says I do all this stuff. I speak, I coach, I consult, I write, curriculum, I mentor, I'm in ministry or whatever. But man, everything, and I mean everything starts with the pen and pad. Everything I do in my life starts with a pen and pad. I think that God's greatest gift he ever gave to me and my greatest weapon outside the word is my pen. It's always been my chosen way to communicate. And everything I do starts with that. And so, man, I'm one of those people who write, obviously, books and stuff, and so there's a form of income that comes from that. But I also write because I just enjoy writing. Writing is therapeutic. Writing is also inspirational. Writing is also for gratitude and service. I mean, writing is everything to me. Like if I if I was showing your audience right now in my office, there is at least 70 composition books over there right across from me. And it's on my bookshelf. And I probably have 2 to 3, upwards of 4 unpublished books. And so I haven't even decided what I'm going to do with all of them yet. Obviously, I just published my latest book, Now What? And so I wish I didn't have 97,000 sticky notes in my office right now with every random thought that I've probably had in the last, I don't know, 2 weeks. I would know you're probably thinking 97,000 notes that had to be, accumulated over a lifetime. And it's like, no, that was just the past 2 weeks. Because ideas just come, man. Notebooks, spiral notebooks. I have so many papers around here with notes on it. Every week I have to have kind of like a consolidation party and say, okay, give me every light bill, every dinner napkin, every back of an index card, every note on a receipt from a store, it just whatever. And let me just take it all in a room and say, can I just put this in one pad? And then there's 4 of those too. So so yes, writing is my lifeline. Writing is what gives me life. And so I will actually be literally doing this for the rest of my life. And I love the idea that that's something I'm going to be doing.
Sweet. Any plans to transcribe your stuff, all your notes, that way you can consolidate them quicker, like put them in a Google Doc or something?
It's funny you say that because I've been speaking since 2009, I believe. And I was looking in my Dropbox the other day and I was looking at all these talks I've done, all these back, some of your audience may remember CDs, CDs of
Oh,
things I used
yes.
to make. I have CDs of like talks, lectures, almost like some fireside chats type of things. Last I checked, I think I have about a week and 2 or 3 days worth of audio that I have not yet done something with yet. It's just it's raw talks, it's coaching sessions, it's different things where it's seminars, it's workshops, it's one-on-ones where I'm having a Q&A with someone else and we're just sharing ideas. There is so much of that out there. It's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna hire someone to go through and sift through all of these and pull the gems out. So yes, there is a part of me who is going to get started on that because that's going to be a lofty project that I know I don't have the patience to do. But someone who maybe works remotely, and has a lot of time on her hands, which there's a few of those people out there, and say, I want a little part-time job. I got the perfect job for you. And so I do plan to take all of those and just make it as a resource to be able to offer to people. I mean, it's been sitting in my Dropbox for 10, 12, 15 years. And I know there's valuable stuff in there because even though it was said 10 years ago, that doesn't mean there's not some value there. And, you know, it's amazing. I know you've been doing the podcasting thing for some time. Sometimes it's amazing to go back and listen to the stuff you did early on. And you was just like, who said that? That was that was some insightful stuff. It's like sometimes you kind of look at yourself and say, wow, like where did I get where how was I thinking at that level then? Because you feel like you're so much more advanced later when you could have said something, some time ago that was very insightful and changed a lot of lives. But we think sometimes that, oh, it's from back in the day, it is what it is. And it's like I've grown so much. Yeah, but there's still some great value in the stuff we've done before. And so I do want to look into that and, get some things transcribed. And who knows, that might be 3 or 4 other books in that pile of audio as well.
So my man's on his DJ Khaled swag. Is like, yeah, man, I got some major hits ready on the hard drive, locked away. If these folks play around, I might let one go, baby, and they ain't gonna be ready. We the best.
You know what? Maybe we can get on that. Maybe Calvin has a point. How about we get in on that and release an old mixtape? You know, let's get it. Let's get that worked in. So I'm game. I'm ready when you are.
That's right, indeed. Because those are still great. Heck, I still listen to Dr. Eric Thomas's motivational mixtapes from time to time. Like that mess is fire. Like I love it. I love it. I still even. I'm like glad I didn't like get a car like after 2012 because I still have my CD player in my car because
Man,
I love audiobooks.
I actually have my vehicle's actually 2020, and lo and behold, it still has a CD player in it. And
What?
yes, yes, I know that's not that. I'm wondering if it was just a defect. I don't know. Who knows? But all I know is that I'll pop a disc in there. I'll pop a audio book in there in a second. Because sometimes I'll get on like eBay or one of these sites or whatever, and it's like, hey, this audio book is on CD, and I'm like, cool, I'm ready. Let's do it. And so, because it's a CD, it's probably going for $2.15. I'll jump in on it. The value is still there.
Amen to that. And that's probably one of the major messages of this episode. Indeed, the value is still there, no matter what level you are at the moment. Like with all the wonderful years of content on the Dropbox, it's like, yeah, there's still value in there. That's right, indeed. There's still value in you listening right now, indeed, because that's why you can't spell Vital without value, y'all. That's right, indeed. Can't do it. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So, my goodness, man, since you've been basically on a boatload of interviews, is there a question that you wish folks would ask you more often?
you know, that's not something that I'm asked often. The question of the question I should be asked. Because for the most part, I've been very transparent in sort of my journey, whether it was the night my father passed, the parameters by which I left my last church, and just, how's my faith journey been, what drives me, what moves me on each day. All of those things are extremely important. But at the same time, like, man, I just sit back and look in totality where I am. And sometimes I just have to sit with myself and say, you know, how did we get here? And I mean, I know it's by the grace of God that I am here because Lord knows I fumbled the bag more times than I can even count at this point in time. I've fallen short many times. I've lost faith many times. Yet my father sees fit to awaken me in the morning and say, I woke you up for a reason. And I don't take lightly the purpose for which I'm here to share and give wisdom. And the thing is, to be honest, man, I've never been the smartest, the brightest, the intellectual type. No, no. You mean, C minus, former jock, 90s jock at that. Like I came up at the time when smart athletes, I grew up in the country in New Caney, Texas, right? We I didn't me and a lot of my guys, we weren't scholar athletes, right? But the thing is that I've always kind of been I'm going to work as hard as I can and treat people as best I can throughout this journey. And over time, I realized you don't need to know everything. But in fact, you need to keep a good group of people around you. People who can pour into you, people who can love you, people who can support you, people who can pray for you, people who can pick you up when life kicks you in your teeth and you don't know how to get yourself back up. I have that in my life now. And I wouldn't encourage everyone who's listening to me right now. It's like, stop trying to do this thing called life alone. Get out, go meet with people, have some humility, have some gratitude, and say, hey, you know what? I don't know what I'm doing here. Can someone here help me? If I had to be honest with you, Dom, that's probably the turning point is when I realized I don't need to figure this out. But what I do need is to bring others in who are looking for opportunities to help and serve others because you're not by yourself. Others want to be able to help and serve and be part of your journey. Do not close them out. And so that would probably be the question is like, what is one of the greatest keys to success? Is to realize success is not achieved alone. And that would be my thing.
Woo! That's right indeed, my man's preaching. Yes, indeed. Because you're so right. It's like probably one of my biggest pet peeves is hearing folks saying they're self-made this, self-made that. It's like, nah, you can say self-made millionaire, which is a lie because someone had to buy your product. Like someone had to give you the money. Like somebody helped you out, buddy. Like you have your success. Success is never a solo thing. Like so, there's like somebody made the tools that you're using today to create the success that you have today. So yeah, man. That's right indeed. Success doesn't happen alone. It takes a team. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. You need someone to get that pick six. You need somebody to do it. Put the icing on the cake for some.
And and let's just be honest, man. And I can't speak to what everyone's home life is like. I'm not here for that. But at the same time, regardless of relationship with your parents, you're actually here because of them. So you couldn't do life alone if you wanted to because you had to be created to get here in the first place. So there's that. And like you said, a self-made millionaire, there's no such thing. I don't know anyone who's done any level of business solo. Not one. He's like, well, I'm the only one in the company. Yeah, somebody made something for you because you can't do everything. I mean, did you print your own business cards? Did you create your own website? Did you build the computer you have? I mean, we could go on and on about how you didn't do this alone. And you're just not going to tell me that somebody didn't give you some advice on how to run your business. Like, you just can't tell me that. Did you file your own? Did you do your own taxes too? Right? I mean, come on, man. Let's stop. And I don't understand why that's even. I guess you call it a flex or a showing out. Like, what good does that do to even say I did this by myself? Why is that a plus? It's a fair question to ask, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. It's fair indeed. That's right indeed. That's right indeed. Well, speaking of fair, fun's also in the F section of the dictionary. So, a fun question for you. For fabulous book, and I guess this is probably your newest book at the time of this recording. Now, what? 5 steps to get up and create the most of life. If that book were a food, what would it be and why?
Oh, it would be gumbo. Southern gumbo. That's what it would be. Because there's so many ingredients in there. Ingredients that you don't see. Some of them you may not even taste, but they contribute to the whole of the production and of the meal. My sister makes a great gumbo, right? And if I remember right, I think she said there's close to 30 different ingredients in there. And the way my book is laid out, 5 steps to get up and create the most of life. Every step along the way, the reflect, the decide, the plan, the act, and seek chapter, each of them has multiple ways, multiple strategies for you to be able to get up and do something new with your life. And the beautiful thing is, you maybe don't need to do all of them. If there's 12 different strategies for this one, you can choose your top three. You can do one. You can do nine. It doesn't matter. There's a flavor in there for your style of what you want to do in your life. And so I give you options in there. I don't put terribly long chapters in there because I was a young man who didn't like to read. So I accommodate for the non-reader who looks to get to the point. And so that would be my answer is the gumbo because of the variety within the 5 steps to create a better life and get yourself out of the situation you are in now into something new, exciting, and purposeful for your life.
Ew. That's right, dude. The gumbo paper. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. I got Southern cuisine. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. You're gonna take a sip and be like, when it comes to tomorrow, now what? But today, I'm gonna feast on this great content, baby. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Woo! Well, we're coming down to the magical question that every guest gets to receive, and that is if you were to wake up tomorrow and you were 25 again, but you're still in the current year, what advice would you give to yourself?
25. I was still in college at 25. I would tell myself to take reading, knowledge, and education way more serious. I would tell myself to take those three things way more serious than I did. I was a guy winging it through everything. I was a hustler, but I was like a reckless hustler, right? It had no boundaries. It was just Tasmanian devil, pump shotgun style, just spreading everywhere. There was never anything that was concise, that was focused and purposeful. It was just 10 hustles going on at the same time instead of focusing and zeroing in on something and becoming a master at one of the things that I was looking to achieve at that time and honing in on it to become the greatest version of myself and doing that task, that assignment, that mission, and that job or line of work or business. That's what I would tell myself.
Woohoo! That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. My man's bringing the heat, baby. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Bringing that Texas heat, baby. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So if you're hearing this during the winter, you know who to call on to get your team, yo, wonderful students motivated indeed. Call Mr. AV, who is probably going to rock all your AV equipment. Indeed. That's right. Indeed. That's right. Indeed. Because folks only got maybe, I don't know, 0.001% of all of a man has to offer. So for those who need to dive into the other 99.99% of your magical content and cop some copies of your magical books, what's the best way for folks to do so, my friend?
Yeah, ahmardvital.com is going to be the hub for everything involving me. And of course, Ahmard Vital on all the social media platforms. There's no alias. It's just me, AHMARDVITAL. And reach out to me, DM me, shoot me an email. And love to connect with you all. As far as the books, my newest book, Now What? 5 Steps to Get Up and Create the Most of Life, it's on 33 different digital platforms. You could choose the one that's, your favorite. Obviously, there's some that are more popular than others, but I never want to discriminate. You choose which one works best for you and where you get most of your books from. Hopefully, you'll go out and get a copy. For those who would like to preview, the digital copy is available through my publisher. You go to booknowwhat.com. That's booknowwhat.com. bestselling.com. Get you a free digital copy. Check it out. We'd love to have you as a customer to go out and purchase your own, and look forward to hearing your thoughts on that. Leave a review, and we look forward to hearing what you thought about the book and how it has changed your life. I do believe that there's some wisdom in there. In the time that it was put together, it was put with you in mind for those trying to make major transitions in life. Make that move, and this book will teach you simple, strategic steps to be able to get you there. But ahmardvital.com. Love to hear from all of you, and you know where to find me.
Well, there you have it, folks. Gonna put a link to my man's stuff in all the show notes and dates. That way you can cop some copies of his magical books and cop some motivational gear too. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. Because my man's gonna get you motivated to run through a brick wall and break 5 cinder blocks all at the same time. Indeed. That's right, indeed. That's right, indeed. So be sure to do just that because a man is only getting started. He's got more content on the way, y'all. My man's just getting started. So go on ahead and support this good man right here indeed. So, any parting words before we close up shop, my man?
For one, Dom, thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. I don't take it for granted when I get to share ideas with your audience, those here in this country and across the world. Parting words I'll share with them is words my father told me at a very young age, and I've never forgotten. And that is, live the best life you can, then give it all away. Live the best life you can, then give it all away. We're called here to live a life that is more than just our own. We're here to make a difference. We're here to make impact, and we're here to serve one another. And if we can each take some time each day to look to bring a smile and some love to someone else, things would turn around very quickly in this country, regardless of where you live, what you believe in, and who comprises who's within your home and family. So let's do more of that. More love, more serving, more purpose. And I think we'll have a much better outcome going into future years to come.
If you're hearing this part of the episode, that means you're one cool individual. Thanks a bunch for tuning in, and if you enjoyed what you heard, be sure to share it with at least one other person in your network. Bonus points for 3. And be sure to check out the backlog too while you're at it, because there are hundreds of wonderful episodes to choose from as well.